A handy feature in microsurvey is the ability to check spelling. You can start the spell check from the annotate ribbon, or you can simply come down to your command line and type spell. You're first prompted to select the entities which you want to check the spelling on. So I'm just going to window in a bunch of text here. And this will work for regular lines of text, paragraphs that were formed with mtext, dimensions, as well as attributes. So I'm just going to hit enter here. It'll systematically go through everything you selected and pick out any symbols, characters, or words that it deems spelled incorrectly. In many cases, such as this, we can simply ignore the spell check. We can see here I've spelled geographic wrong, so I'm going to choose change. And we can systematically go through and ignore any of the words that we know we want to keep. Now here's an example that because I've got a US dictionary set and we've got the Canadian spelling of meters, it's going to want to correct it to the American version. So I will ignore that as I want this to be the Canadian spelling. Maybe I want to remove this dash from bylaws. I can choose change. And if you choose change all, if there's many cases that it finds within the drawing, it'll change all those. Here's another incorrect spelling. So I'll change that. Now the spell check is complete. So we can see here, geographic has been corrected. Here, bylaws has been corrected. Now I could come up here and do a part of the drawing. Run the spell command again. And I'll just window in a whole bunch of entities here. Hit enter. Now we may have cases such as this where certain symbols are used to represent brackets, underscores, and symbols. So you don't want to actually change these. You can just pick ignore. If I want to check the spelling within a viewport, choose spell again. I've highlighted the viewport so it's selectable. Now I'm choosing any of the entities inside the viewport. Again, I can go through and ignore most of these. Now here's a good example. This %% is used to denote the degree symbol. So although this may look like a mistake, you don't want to make this correction because that's required in the font to create the, and you don't want to make this correction because those symbols are required to create the degree symbol. So we can ignore that. Now it's not perfect. In certain cases it missed this spelling. So it's always a good practice to visually review your drawing. If I run the spell command again, just select whatever entities I want. You also have the option to change your dictionary. So by default, we'll have a Canadian English and American English dictionary. And you can add certain words if you wish. So maybe I would like to add the word microsurvey as a single word instead of two. You can choose add, and we can see now that it's in the list. So I just hit OK and cancel. I know that I've got the word microsurvey spelled here. So if I run my spell command again, unhighlight that viewport, run my spell command, I'll pick all this text and hit enter. Ignore all. We can see that it didn't pick up the microsurvey spell check. So, to review, you can run spell check on all of your text in your drawing. You can do this in model space or a layout tab. You can do this in model space or in a layout view. If you want to spell check with inside a viewport, you need to highlight that viewport first and then select the entities inside of it. You can change your dictionaries, and also you can select the dictionary that you want, and you can also add your own words or symbols that you want to be ignored in future cases of spell checking.